Neville Goddard lecture. What are you doing? Many times I've heard someone say, I believe that imagining creates reality, but I once imagined something and it never came to pass. Then I ask, what are you doing saying, I once imagined it and not imagining it now? For God's name is I am, not I did. Always thinking of God as someone outside of himself, man finds it difficult to keep the tense, but God is the human imagination and there is no other God. When you imagine, you may include others, but do not think in terms of influence. Rather, think only in terms of clarity of form. Perhaps a friend would like a better job, more money, and greater responsibility. Before you imagine, take a moment and clarify the form your imaginal act will take. Are you giving the celebration party, or is he? Who will be there? Fill the room with those who would want to share in the celebration. Raise your glass and say, here's to your fabulous new job, your salary increase, and the challenge of your greater responsibility. Don't think in terms of trying to influence the friend's boss, for he could die or be discharged. Just go to the end, toast the event, and do not think of influencing others. The law, to be effective, needs feeling with form. Build a structure that would imply your desire is already fulfilled, and enter its form with feeling. You do not have to be concerned about influencing others, as they are not the cause. Your imaginal act is. Those who have $1 billion are not causing your world. You and you alone are doing it, as your imaginal acts influence people. Everyone is yourself pushed out. So when you imagine, you are influencing yourself. Knowing what you want, place your attention on its clarity of form, and then watch what you are imagining. Are you remembering when you imagined something greater than what you have? If so, you are confessing you are not now imagining your desire fulfilled. If imagining creates reality, you must change your memory and become aware of what you are imagining right now. Always think in clarity of form, for as you do, you are influencing others. When I wanted to get out of Barbados, I didn't think of influencing anyone. I simply used clarity of form and walked up the gangplank in my imagination. That act caused someone 5,000 miles away to cancel their passage. And although there were hundreds ahead of me waiting for passage, the one who had the power to distribute the tickets chose us, so I did influence others. I imagined, and we came back, while thousands who preceded us in applying for passage continued to wait their turn. Do you know that the moment you draw a line, you encompass energy, that without an outline, everything is nothing? Draw your outline and make your picture as clear as possible. Perhaps you are giving a party to honor one who is present. Sit at the table with friends and raise your glass. Congratulate your friend on his new position, his greater salary and more responsibility. Stick to that thought, and it will not matter to you who is influenced. The moment you think of influence, you reduce a miracle to magic. All the people in the world are only yourself pushed out. No one has the power to hold you back or promote you, for you are self-promoted or self-restricted. Blake tells us to enter into, not just observe, but enter into, images in our imagination, to approach them on the fiery chariot of contemplative thought, to make a friend and companion of any one of these images of wonder, for if we will rise from the grave and meet the Lord in the air and be happy. Let us say you are in Los Angeles and want to be in New York City. You could enter the city on the fiery chariot of your contemplative thought by thinking from it, and no longer thinking from Los Angeles. You enter New York City by rising from your grave of flesh and blood in Los Angeles and meeting your Lord, your I Am, in the air. Do that, and you will be happy in the doing, for that is how reality is created. When you enter the state you desire to express and believe it is true, no earthly power can stop it from objectifying itself. And although you do not deliberately influence others, you influence everyone. As Sir James Fraser said, a man on this planet cannot raise a hand without influencing the farthest star in the heavens in its unified form. Practice the art of imagining, and you will discover you can go anywhere and enter any time without the aid of anyone. Move in your imagination, and people will respond because of your action. Dare to assume you are wealthy, and watch everyone play their parts to provide you with the wealth you claim to have. They will, for they are only yourself pushed out. The world goes on and on, as the actors, playing their numberless parts, desire more and more things that vanish. Man is forever fighting for something that passes away. Yet he is told, "Do not lay up treasures on earth where thieves can take and the moth corrupt, but lay up treasures in heaven where no man can take from you." The treasures of earth can be withdrawn at any moment, but the treasures in the instructions I am giving you now are forever. Only one being was pierced, and that is Jesus Christ, your true identity. The crucifixion is over. You have been crucified with Christ, and your resurrection will take place in you in its own wonderful time. I ask you to test your imagination. Go all out and believe in what you have imagined. Do not try to influence anyone. Instead, put all of your energies into clarity of form. If a certain desk designates that you are occupying a desired position, occupy that desk. Enter into the image, and you will realize your vision. Sit in the chair behind that desk and view the room. Persist in thinking from that point of view. If you do not physically occupy that chair tomorrow and begin to doubt, ask yourself, "What am I doing, remembering and not imagining?" Then return to your chair behind that desk. Now let us go into the silence.